Jack and the Beanstalk. There once was an old widow who had one son named Jack and a cow named Milky White. The cow was their only source of food, and they would drink the milk in the morning and sell the extra milk at market until one morning there was no milk. And so Jack's mother said, "We must sell Milky White." So off Jack set for the market, but on the way he met a man, and the man was selling magic beans. He decided to trade his cow for the 5 magic beans that would grow up to the sky. When he came home, his mother asked him, "Well, how much did you get for Milky White? 20 pounds? "No," Jack said, "I got 5 magic beans, and if I plant them—" "You idiot!" she cried. "Off to bed with you, no dinner." His mother promptly threw the beans right out the window. Jack went to bed, but when he woke up, it was dark outside. So he went outside, and what did he see? Why, a beanstalk that went all the way to the sky. He climbed and climbed and climbed until he reached a tall house, and there was an ogre wife who offered him breakfast until her husband came along. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," she told Jack to hide in the oven. "I smell the blood of an Englishman." He came into the kitchen and asked for his breakfast. His wife fed him, knowing that he'd fall promptly asleep, and sure enough, after his breakfast of 3 cows, he counted his gold and fell asleep. Jack crept out of the oven, stole 1 bag of the ogre's gold, and climbed all the way down to live on it with his mother. Well, it wasn't long before Jack decided to try his luck again. And so he climbed up, up, up the beanstalk until he came to a giant house. Now this time, when he went inside, he told the ogre's wife he was hungry for breakfast yet again. And being kind, she fed him. But it wasn't long before thump, thump, thump. The entire house shook with the weight of the approaching ogre. Quickly, Jack hid again. When the ogre came into the kitchen, he told his wife, "Wife, bring me the hen that lays the golden egg." And she did. And when the hen came along, the ogre set her on the table and said, "Lay." And she did. And there was a precious golden egg. Well, the ogre ate his breakfast, and before long, he fell off to sleep again. And as his snore shook the house, Jack crept out from where he was hiding and caught that hen. But this time, the hen gave a cluck, cluck, cluck that disturbed the ogre's sleep, and as he awoke, Jack ran with the hen in hand. Down, down, down the beanstalk he climbed, and all he could hear was, "Wife, where's me hen?" Jack showed the golden egg-laying hen to his mother, and she was pleased. But you see, Jack was a greedy boy, and he wanted more. So one day, he climbed up and up and up the beanstalk. And this time, instead of going straight into the house, he waited until the ogre's wife came out to get some water. Then he snuck inside the house and hid in a copper pot. Soon enough, he heard thump, thump, thump. The ogre had arrived. And of course, he asked his wife for his breakfast. And then he sniffed. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." Jack was in the copper pot. Luckily, the ogre didn't look in the pot. His wife said, "Well, how do you not know the difference between alive and dead? You're simply smelling your breakfast. Here, come sit down." "I call for my golden harp, wife." And so the ogre's wife brought out the most beautiful golden harp Jack had ever seen. "Sing," he commanded, and the most beautiful song began to play. Now, Jack waited until the ogre fell asleep, and he crawled out of the copper pot, and he snatched that golden harp. He began to run, but this time, as he ran, the harp came alive and screamed, "Master! Master!" And the ogre awoke, and the ogre ran after Jack all the way to the beanstalk, where Jack disappeared. Down the beanstalk he went, while the harp cried, "Master! Master!" And then Jack got the surprise of his life. The ogre climbed on the beanstalk, and it shook like thunder. Down Jack climbed, and the ogre climbed right behind him until Jack got to the very bottom. He threw the harp down and cried for his mother, "Please bring me an axe." Jack grabbed the axe from his mother and gave a mighty chop. The beanstalk shook and cracked. The ogre didn't know what was going on. He held on for dear life, but then Jack pulled that axe back and chopped. The beanstalk cracked right in two. It toppled over, and onto the ogre it fell. The ogre toppled down and broke his crown, and Jack was able to show his mother the golden harp. And the two lived happily ever after, as rich as can be. Don't forget, subscribe to Miss April G School for more stories, circle time lessons, dance classes, and sight words. Have a great week!